Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's video 44 coming at you with another video. So, at this moment, I just found out that LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook had come together maybe about a month ago at Bron's house and basically made this agreement to make sacrifices to see that this thing goes the right way. And to be honest with you, it's the same thing I told you. It's the same thing that I said in one of my videos. This is the type of deal where guys have come together and made agreements already. Now whether or not the GM will actually be able to make it happen, totally different conversation. But guys can come together and say, if this is possible, this is what we want to do. If the GM can pull it off, this is what our plan will be. And I think that's what happened. It was very close to not happening, of course. Obviously, we know that we were a second away from getting Buddy Hield for pieces that ultimately went in this deal. And, there are people out there who think that it's still possible that the Lakers land Buddy Hield in this deal. That maybe there are some incentives to make Washington or maybe even a fourth team come in and help facilitate such a process. So that's not ruled out just yet, believe it or not. I don't know how they would work that into the equation with his contract. I don't know how the hell we would get the pieces to do that. I don't know. But being that the Lakers are in such a weird position with their cap, I would imagine we might be able to still convince Dennis Schroeder to do a sign and trade, as to which we could take back some salary. And if that's the case, maybe we can attach maybe whatever we can, maybe the 2 second-round picks that we just received, and possibly be able to add something to this trade that maybe we didn't have the leverage for or the pieces for before making the trade. So, technically, those 2 second-round picks that we're getting here, in other words, can be parlayed elsewhere. Obviously, or given back to the Washington Wizards so that they can facilitate such a thing. So the framework ain't going to be done till the 6th. They're going to be squeezing, players in and out of this deal. I wouldn't be surprised to see some pieces that we don't expect to see in this deal just because there's so much time between now and then. And look, I do believe the deal is done, so I don't think there's going to be any reneging. Although things like that have happened before, I don't see that happening here. But if something were to occur, like let's say a certain player that the Wizards want suddenly becomes available to them, that could affect what they do in regards to this Westbrook deal too. Now suddenly they'll want something different or want to pull something back, or there's a lot of different things that can happen. That's all I'm saying. But ultimately the focus now is just to make sure that they have it together. I would tell guys like those 3 guys, like, look, yeah, you can agree to make it work, but I hope Rob Pelinka's in that room, because he's the one that's going to have to ultimately get you the pieces that will make it so that it's possible. The 3 of y'all ain't going to be able to get it done without the right pieces in place. This is not a very fluid Golden State Brooklyn Nets type of trio. When Golden State had KD, Steph, and Clay, they all could shoot, they could all defend, they could all do exactly what they need to do. They had a Draymond guy that made it all come together, a glue guy that didn't need to shoot. So it was a perfect fit. That's why they're one of the greatest teams ever play. The Brooklyn Nets, even though there's had to be some sacrifices, ultimately all 3 of those guys can shoot. All 3 of those guys are being willing to play with one another, can sacrifice things of that nature. But the Brooklyn Nets still weren't a deep enough of a team to ultimately withstand injury, and that's what it's going to be about. Can Rob Pelinka put the right pieces in place on a budget, on a limited amount of money, so that we can continue to facilitate the possibility of what it is these guys are dreaming about? Because that's what it comes down to. If you put the wrong pieces in place, they could sit up here and say whatever they're gonna do, whatever they want to do. You just ain't gonna be able to do it. The good thing is there's balance between the 3 of them. Bron, small forward, power forward; AD, center, power forward; Westbrook, point guard. So you really don't have to look for key pieces to help complete the corners of the floor. You just need to get complementary pieces. So that's the good thing, as opposed to having like 3 point guards and taking up all your cap and then trying to figure out how to fill all those other guys out. That's damn near impossible. But what we have is a little more balance to work with in that way. So that, I'm optimistic it'll work. Like I said last night, I'd rather have Russell Westbrook than Ben Simmons right now, trying to build around either one of them. Because even though Ben Simmons is such a fantastic defender, Russell Westbrook would at least pose the threat of shooting the basketball. And that's ultimately what I want in this situation when I'm trying to build. Just somebody willing at the very least to shoot the ball. So, all in all, I think most of that I wanted to say has been said in the previous videos. Just kind of wanted to bring that information to you that those guys have come together like I thought they had. And I think that other players have already agreed as well. As I've heard, many other players have already agreed. But what I'm saying is, even the players that the Lakers are going to get in March, when free agency and the trade deadline and all that stuff is at its end, at its close, those guys who are probably going to be ultimately signed midway through the season are probably already on board mentally. You probably already have a handshake agreement to be here. Like, this is not the type of team that you just have to search and search and search for people to come here. No. The phone calls have already been made, and it's probably a bidding war between players. I'm willing to bet we have more players that want to be here than we have spots at this point. I'm willing to bet, especially with all the guys that are willing to probably come out of retirement. You talk about guys like Mario Chalmers who are itching to get here. It's like, we're not going to have a hard time finding guys. We're not. In fact, I think we're going to have an easier time finding guys now than we did when we first got AD. I really do. Because you got even more talent. And Russell Westbrook creates a dynamic for where shooters are even more needed. You know what I mean? Like I said yesterday, if you're a shooter on the waiver wire, or even if you're a guy who's set to make some good money, you may want to take a year off and go get a championship with the Lakers. If I'm a super shooter, you know what I'm saying, who happens to be a free agent, yeah, I don't see a reason why you don't just do 1 year, vet minimum, take on a role, get a quick ring or a quick opportunity at NBA championship experience, which is a very good thing to have on your resume when you're a free agent. And try this again next year. You know, try free agency again next year when you're coming off an opportunity with the Lakers, which should be a successful one. Like I said, especially if you're a shooter, you're getting open shots. If you don't see the value, the monetary value in open opportunities on the basketball floor, there's something wrong with you. Because I know there are shooters out there who will be double teamed left and right, who are on teams with clunky spacing, who are not in good situations, who can say, you know what, just for the sake of winning basketball and having open, clear opportunities to do what it is I'm great at, I'll probably just take that pay cut and go to the Lakers, man. It just see how it feels to have open shots for a change. And that's what I would sell these guys on. It's like, look, you're going to have to take a pay cut. But you're on the Lakers with these three players. The money-making opportunities are going to be plentiful. You're going to have endorsement opportunities that will fully take care of your anything that you have to sacrifice on contract. Okay, being on this Laker team, you're gonna have all the commercials, all the opportunities to do movies. You're gonna be here. You know what I mean? And your favorite shoe company is gonna love you coming here. So, you know, and look, Bron is gonna be gone soon. So if you're one of those guys, you may have an opportunity to get a bag with the Lakers in a couple years. Even if you don't get it right away, when you get in good with this organization, there are opportunities for you to return long after basketball's even done. So that's how I'd sell it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I can't pay you what everybody else gonna pay you, but they don't mean that money ain't gonna come your way either way. So that's what it is. We need shooting. Come on, come one, come all. You know, anybody that has money already, you made it made $100 million already, come to the Lakers, because we got an opportunity for you, and it's gonna be a championship and a lot of open shots. So that's what I got, man. My name is BDO44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.